A costly mistake may have just exposed how far Ferrari still is from becoming a true championship machine. 1 week after celebrating a dream victory in Barcelona, Ferrari arrived in Austria full of confidence and momentum, but by the end of the weekend that optimism had faded. Lewis Hamilton crossed the line only 5th. Truck racing I did a little bit of, single-seater touring cars, sports cars, and Ferrari attempted to take advantage of a virtual safety car triggered by Carlos Sainz's retirement. The plan was aggressive. The goal was clear: attack Mercedes and Max Verstappen through strategy rather than pure pace. But according to team boss Frederick Vasseur, the gamble backfired. He admitted Ferrari pushed too hard strategically, overstressed the tyres and ultimately paid the price against McLaren. "We tried to fight Mercedes and Max even though we didn't have the pace for it," Vasseur admitted. He explained that Ferrari overloaded the tyres early in the race and ended up losing valuable ground later. That's the real issue. When a team starts compensating for a lack of pace through risky strategy, the margin for error becomes extremely small. And this is where the situation becomes serious. Vasseur openly acknowledged that Ferrari simply did not have the speed to fight at the front. He said the team forced the issue because everyone is operating on the limit in a championship battle. When the strategy failed, the consequences multiplied. Ferrari lost points, lost track position, and left Austria knowing the gap to the strongest cars remains larger than Barcelona may have suggested. This changes everything. Truck racing I did a little bit of, single-seater touring cars, sports cars, and what makes the situation even more interesting is Hamilton's reaction. Despite finishing only 5th, the 7-time world champion refused to criticize the team. Instead, he praised Ferrari's strategy group and pit crew. He said the team did an excellent job and that the mechanics worked incredibly hard throughout the race. According to Hamilton, the bigger problem was not the strategic calls themselves, but the fact that none of the tyre compounds worked properly on his car. Hamilton admitted his start was poor and said he initially felt competitive after passing Charles Leclerc. For a brief period, he could stay with George Russell, but then the rear tyres began losing grip on every set Ferrari used. He also pointed toward a significant straight-line speed deficit, saying Ferrari was already around 0.6 down on top speed during Friday running and suggesting the problem remained substantial on Sunday. And it may not stop here. Leclerc's frustration painted an equally worrying picture. The Monegasque admitted it was difficult to understand how Ferrari could look like one of the fastest cars in Barcelona and then struggle so badly just 1 week later. He insisted the upgrades introduced by Ferrari are working, but described the SF26 as an extremely sensitive car. According to Leclerc, if the setup falls outside the ideal operating window, the performance penalty becomes massive. That may be the biggest warning coming out of Austria. Ferrari has shown it can win races, it has shown flashes of championship level speed, but it has also shown how quickly everything can unravel when the setup, strategy or conditions are not perfect. As Silverstone approaches, the question is no longer whether Ferrari can be fast. The question is whether Ferrari can finally become consistent enough to sustain a title fight. What's your take on this situation? Share your opinion below and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more Formula One updates.